Hello and welcome. I am Gauhar Raza and you are watching Eureka. A professor in IISc Bangalore with his student started an experiment, and probably both of them knew that they are onto something big. They studied flow of liquids through nano, small, very small. When we talk about nano, then we are talking about something that cannot be seen with naked eyes. So they started studying flow through nanotubes. And lo and behold, they realized that this flow generates electricity. They didn't stop it here. They wanted to know whether the gas flow also generates electricity or not. And they found that yes, it does. It changed a lot of things for nanosciences. A lot of things in physics changed because of this simple, seemingly simple, very complex problems were solved. And today we have the expert that did it. Professor Sood.
Pleasure.
Very welcome to Rajya Sabha channel.
Thank you.
I would like to ask you, were you excited like a child when you observed this?
Absolutely. So if you ask me, the Eureka moment, as the program is called, it was indeed that when we saw a simple idea taking shape. I recall that moment because we started with an idea. It was not a random experiment. It was based on some very interesting physics which was happening in two-dimensional electron gas, very esoteric systems. The idea was when something moves, can it drag something else? That was the simple idea which was done in the context of electrons. Our idea was if water moves, can it drag electrons? So with that naive idea, we started doing the experiment along with my student Shankar. And I remember it was pretty late at night when we ended up putting things together. Water was not leaking all over the place, nanotubes were in place. And when we did those experiments, we did realize, lo and behold, something is happening. So to say again that it was really a Eureka moment, but what was more interesting was that we built upon that simple idea and realized that what we had thought was not right. We had thought that the momentum of water molecules will be given to electrons and the voltage will be proportional to velocity, momentum. But what we saw, it doesn't happen, and that's why life is interesting. So we realize it's not linear in velocity, but it's quite a interesting function, and that became a bigger challenge than to see the effect. So I must say it took us many years. In fact, at that time we gave a understanding theory along with Professor Kumar, but now we realize what we understand now today is probably closer to truth. And that is happening due to water inside the tube. So the water inside the tube has a big role to play in this effect. So
will you say the same thing after 10 years that maybe the understanding of today was premature? And that is the beauty of science.
Absolutely. I have no hesitation in saying that we should be the first one to question our own understanding. If I had not questioned it now, in the last few years, we would still be living with the earlier understanding. But the experimental facts make you think, are you on the right track? The reason I am saying this is because that gives the predictive power. See, experiment done, theory done is not enough. You must be in a predictive mode. If we understand, then we could do that. And that I would not hesitate to admit that in future if we think we are not able to explain few facts, sure. And just to add if for a few seconds, it turned out that the voltage generated due to gas flow has nothing to do with the theory which explains voltage generation due to liquid flow.
Liquid flow.
So it completely gave
These
us
are
a
two
new.
different phenomena. Though seemingly from outside,
Though
it
we
appears.
started like that, and I mean, it is so fascinating. Now you can ask me about the gas flow, and I can tell to the viewers, it is actually high school physics. It was a combination of three principles which we study as kids. What is that? First, Bernoulli principle.
Bernoulli's theorem.
From Bernoulli theorem, we generate a pressure difference along the flow. That translates into temperature difference because of equation of state of the gas. Again, pressure times volume is proportional to temperature, high school physics. And that temperature difference gives rise to the voltage by Seebeck effect.
Right.
So three principles tied, which everyone knew, gave us this. So fascinating, started with the hypothesis, turned out
Much
to
more
be different.
simple question, went to a very complex explanation of liquid flow and its relationship with current, and then came back to high school physics once again.
Actually,
how
sir,
fascinating it
somebody
must have
asked
been.
me, why was it not discovered for 200 years? Because Bernoulli principle is known for a long time. So I said, I don't know, but maybe nobody flew gas over the semiconductors.
Absolutely.
Unless we are looking for it, you will not do it.
It is the childlike curiosity which drives discoveries and inventions in science. I have to take a small break. Don't go anywhere. We'll come back. Welcome back. Professor Sood, we were discussing that it's childlike curiosity that drives science. Discoveries, inventions are based only on curiosity and hard labor. For a very long time, you worked on this simple question, and then you came up. Were you as curious as a child, or as you grew, the curiosity grew?
I must say that the science or the physics in particular fascinated me right from the time I was in high school or even that time. And it always fascinated me, the natural phenomena and how you understand. It's so beautiful. So to me, I think that was probably I was doing unconsciously. I will not working for it.
You were not trained.
You were not trained, but on a hindsight, it looks that
It trained you.
It trained you. And I must say it was fascinating because it was just love for the subject, science actually, not even subject. I didn't even know it was whether.
Who motivated you to love science? Was it home atmosphere, father, mother, school?
Actually my parents are not scientists, were not scientists.
You don't come from a science
background.
But they were educated.
They were educated. My uncle, they were in medical profession and engineers and so on, but nobody was in basic science. Probably I am the first one in the family to do so-called basic science. So I would not put one person, but you know this, we were doing, I was just doing for the love of it. So just, you know, this atmosphere at home was just to do what you like. Not like, oh, you have to do this, you have to do this.
You were never forced to do anything.
Never.
Never.
Actually,
there was no pressure.
No pressure. Absolutely no pressure. They said, do what you like.
And you didn't want to become engineer of that kind or doctor as a child?
Yeah, I actually, as I said, most of my cousins and my uncles were either doctors or engineers. That was also the kind of going thing at that time. But somehow I didn't feel that way. So I'm not saying one is better than the other. I'm not judgmental.
Why did you join atomic energy?
Okay. So there is a small story. After my BSc, I was in Chandigarh. so I got actually admission in atomic energy in the training school. So I didn't join. I came and I said, no, I don't want to join. I went after masters. What I liked was I somehow wanted to do in India. You know, the science in India, how we practice it. I did not even try to go to US at that time, which
You could have gone to any country.
so I said atomic energy program was very visible, and there were
At
physicists.
that time, it was the fashion in India.
Yeah, and also there were people.
And Dr. Homi Jahangir Bhabha was a very big figure.
And there were people in physics community who were doing extremely well in the
Best of the mind probably was going.
Absolutely.
Very creative mind.
Very creative minds. So I thought that's what would be a place, and I'm glad I chose that. I have no regrets at all, and I worked there for a number of years. And when I realized that it's time for me to move on, I came to Indian Institute of Science. So
You worked in high energy physics.
condensed matter physics.
Condensed matter physics. And that was a cutting edge technology at that time. Why did you come to something which is nanoparticles, which has nothing to do with...
No, it is actually. It is actually. So, just a 30 seconds intro to this. Actually, nanoscience is a culmination and synthesis of many branches of science. That's the beauty. So, you cannot say it is physics or condensed matter physics or this thing. It's a beautiful culmination of many areas, even biological sciences and so on, which I slightly dabble in. And the beauty is that you can apply, you can do science really as a science. It's not like one branch versus another branch. So nanotechnology, which of course is an enabling science, and nanoscience, which is an interdisciplinary science, has this beautiful synthesis of various subjects. And cross-fertilization of the ideas has been a success story in science. So seemingly different ideas, you can ask very, very pertinent and deep questions. And then you realize it's fun. So that has been a...
So science has been fun for you throughout your life. You have been very passionate teacher as well.
Yeah.
Now, do you think that we are sufficiently training our students in doing basic sciences or fundamental sciences, without which a nation cannot grow? Humanity cannot grow, in fact.
I would say, let me say I have some knowledge of the Indian scene, so I can say with this thing. We have excellent pockets of beautiful science, research and so on. And it is happening. Not only in Indian Institute of Science, it's happening in many other places. IISers, IITs, many IITs and TIFR and so on. But it is not happening enough.
I have to take a break, but the discussion is going to continue. It's becoming more and more interesting. We'll come back soon. Welcome back. We were discussing whether the country needs more money for training better scientists, or the country has sufficient money which is being invested, and we need more intensity and better trained manpower. Or these two are related to each other.
Actually, I would say, without any hesitation, with some knowledge of the scene, because I have been involved in various committees, we are subcritical funding. We have subcritical funding. It has improved over the last 25 years. But if we want to make an international name, and by the way, the country is known by the excellence you have in science, which can translate to technology and various things. So science is really at the fundamental focal point of nations, of national pride. National pride doesn't come in a day. You know, you have to build on it. I would say we have done well, but it's not enough. I have seen that the input, money input, is not to be underestimated. It is important. and it has to be very well invested, spent. Once we do that, the university sector has to be brought up. University sector, unfortunately, has not kept pace with the growth expected. That has not happened.
But we have also withdrawn from university structure.
Right. So we have to pump in that. And also, even the best labs in the country have to be taken to the next level. You simply cannot say, oh, we don't have Harvard, we don't have this, Stanford and all that. It will happen, it is happening in many places, but we have to have much more multiplication effect. It's not enough to have one or two people. You should have a team. And I cannot overemphasize the need to invest. So we need it.
Do you think that India is a very large country and one or two institutions of excellence in a particular area are not sufficient?
Absolutely.
Or is it that we should build one or two very good institutions and rest of them could be second-rate institution?
I'll say slightly differently, with your permission. I will not say second-rate. I will say we should have pockets of excellence which are world-class. On the world ranking, they come nowhere below. But at the same time, the average level has to be brought up.
No, I am asking a much more deeper question, that India is a large country. The UP's needs for a center of excellence is as important as Maharashtra's need for center. So we need to have almost those world-class institutions in UP as well as in Maharashtra as well as in Rajasthan and spread all over. And then you can have other institutions which are supporting these centers of excellence.
So it should be done in two-tier, actually. The two-tier approach, in my view, will give dividends. Whatever you have, good you have, whatever excellence we have, multiply. And by example and by association, others will automatically come up.
The nation, we have to take a plunge, we have to be determined, and we can do it. Coming back to your area, which is nanosciences these days, how promising do you think it is? You have done a number of innovations which range from generation of electricity to muscles in body and all those things.
It is actually important. Actually, the nanoscience and nanotechnology, when I say one, I mean the other automatically for me. Actually, it is an area which has beautiful basic science, and translating that basic science into application is very fast.
Give me one or two examples.
Give you an example which happens in our lifetime. Carbon nanotubes were discovered in 1991 to 1993. Already in 2015, the world market was $1 billion already. So it's not a projection, it's a happening thing. Graphene, which was discovered, which is single layer of carbon, just single layer of carbon, discovered in 2004 by the UK group, and we have been working for a long time. Many groups in the country are working. Already the market is $350 million. $350 million in 2016 is the prediction.
The pace of translation is from basic sciences to
unprecedented.
It is unprecedented.
So what I want to say is, here is an area which has exciting science. It excites young people actually. When you say I can make a single electron, a single nanotube transistor, it's exciting. Many such things. You can make sensors, you can make many other things. And from, as I said, even our own work where we found the basic physics behind the generation of voltage, translating into a product, it happens in your lifetime, in less than 15 years. So that's what is exciting. And my own take is that interdisciplinary subjects will need input from all directions. You cannot say I am physicist or chemist. And
or biologist, I won't touch it.
So that's what.
Your work, you are one of the most celebrated scientists in the country. Your work has been recognized by the community of scientists across the world, within the country. You are president, secretary of all academies that you can think of. And now today you have been honored to be Secretary General of international scientific organizations. Which one do you value most? And I'll ask the same question vis-a-vis the awards that you have got. You got all the awards that a scientist could think, barring a Nobel Prize.
No, thank you. Okay, let me, actually it's not an easy question, but see, every recognition and honor which you get on the way when you are working is a milestone or a marker. Come on, you are doing well, don't go, don't worry, everything is fine. You keep on doing that. At that time, they are important. But in the totality of things, this year, when I got the fellowship of the Royal Society, I really felt very humbled and I felt very, as I said in some other place, happy also and honored also, not for myself alone, actually, because I am completely grown in India. Complete my education, research, everything in India. I felt good for the system that being here along with your colleagues.
Intrinsic Indian scientist getting FRS.
FRS and with complete competition across the world, you feel good, you know. Look, not that you are working for it. You don't work for an award. It happens. So I felt good not only because it has been done to me, but I see is being done to, you know, Indian science. So that's a very nice feeling when some outside one, which, because you are in par with other Commonwealth countries.
Absolutely.
So that one, in that sense, has a special meaning, but no other award is less valuable. I am not going to even imply that. When I got Bhatnagar Award in 1990, you know, CSIR Bhatnagar Award,
right,
that I was 39 at that time age. People felt it's too young to get this, but they recognized me. I felt very good. Then various things happened, and you know, you got TWAS prize. Again, it is international because
Right.
120 countries are competing. So, in my view, when I see this, for me, it's like a, you know, when you go to Olympics, you have some mission. So, I feel good. Ki look, I mean, I could have settled anywhere in the world, actually. With the, I'm not even boasting, but I'm saying it. I had opportunities, but I decided to be here with a lot of choice and with full conviction. And I felt this conviction has been
your journey to discover things, invent things has been very inspiring. Would you like to sign off by giving a statement for the younger generation?
I would say stay motivated. And for that, one also need to work hard. And I am sure if you are on that, there is no other way but to succeed.
If you are inspired and you perspire for achieving the higher goals, then nothing can stop you. That is the message we take back home today. We'll come back next week once again with another as fascinating a personality as Dr. Sood is. May I, on your behalf, promise our viewers that you will be happy to answer questions if they have any?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Do write to us. Our email address is eureka@gmail.com. Till then, goodbye.